The Unwanted Undead Adventurer episode 4. And in this episode we got to see the fight between the giant skeleton and Rentt. The last episode ended with Rentt being trapped in a boss room, and yeah, we were expecting a big fight to happen in this episode, and it actually did. The fight actually happened, but I gotta say that the fight was actually more one-sided than I thought it was going to be. I thought that maybe the giant skeleton was going to give Rentt a bit of a fight, but man, was I wrong, because he was easily taken care of. And also, surprisingly enough, the giant skeleton didn't actually make Rentt evolve. So I was right in the last episode review by saying that Rentt was going to evolve in this episode, but I was wrong in the method he was going to do it, or in the way he was going to do it, because I said that he was going to evolve by defeating monsters, but he didn't do it this way. He did it in a different way that was explained later on in the episode, which was by eating flesh. So yeah, I was not expecting that to be the case for this episode, but yeah, I was definitely right in saying that he was going to evolve. I don't think he's going to evolve in the next episode, mainly because I don't think there are enough evolutions to go around for them to be happening every episode. How many evolutions could he have after evolving in this episode? Maybe 2, maybe even 1. So yeah, I don't expect it to happen in the next episode. Maybe in 2 or 3 episodes, maybe even at the end, who knows. We also saw that the room, or the boss room that Rentt was in, also had another room or another passage in it, so I think that is where Rentt is going to explore next. And he also ended up helping the restaurant owner, which I forget his name, but yeah, he ended up helping him. He gave him the gem that came out of the giant skeleton. And in the previous episode I mentioned how I thought that Rentt was being a little bit rude to the guy, and we got an answer for that in this episode. The reason why he was being a little bit rude towards the guy was because he was having side effects of him being a ghoul, because him being a ghoul made him want to have or consume flesh. So yeah, he was being a little bit rude because he was in that mood. He was in the between stages of him being a normal ghoul not wanting to eat flesh and him wanting to eat flesh. That was why he was being rude. He didn't want him to be a nice person, because as he mentioned, he wanted to eat him. So yeah, that was because of that. And yeah, we saw how when his ghoul instincts took over, he attacked Lorraine, and surprisingly enough, Lorraine was very calm about it. Of course, she was surprised at first, but then after that she was very calm. She was acting like she just didn't get attacked. So yeah, that was surprising. I guess you can say that she acted that way because she knew that it was coming some day or another, and I guess it happened in this episode. So yeah, it was explained in this episode that the existential evolution is not as straightforward as we all thought it was, because we all thought that maybe it was going to be only by him killing monsters, but that is not correct, because as we all saw in this episode, when he ate Lorraine's flesh, or tried to eat Lorraine's flesh, he evolved even though he just killed a boss. Yeah, that tells you that there's definitely requirement for him evolving. Something also really interesting that was mentioned in the episode was how the evolution was affected by what Rentt wanted to be, because he evolved into a ghoul because according to Lorraine, it was what Rentt was wanting to be. So I guess you can say his state of mind affected his evolution. The same happened in this episode, because it was explained that generally speaking, a skeleton doesn't evolve into a ghoul. There is not enough evidence to suggest that, so that happened because Rentt was wanting to be more like a human being. And yeah, apparently this new evolution that he is in is called a troll. I didn't even knew that a monster like that existed before this episode, so that was surprising. Apparently this monster is even less stronger than a lesser vampire in that, I guess you can say, pyramid of strength. He's an underling, or I don't know how you can call it, of a vampire. In this new evolution, aside from the color of his skin and also his mouth, he definitely seems more like a human being. He has now, not rotting flesh. He can also speak way better. It is not even close. So yeah, he's definitely resembling more a human being now. So I guess the question now is, what are the requirements for him to be a vampire? Because as we saw in this episode, for him to become a troll, he needed to consume flesh. So maybe he has to do something vampire-like in order for him to be a vampire. I don't know exactly what that would involve. Maybe drinking blood or something like that. He cannot skip evolutions, because you can make the argument that in this episode he also consumed blood, but like I said, he cannot skip phases. He needs to go phase by phase or evolution by evolution. So yeah, and we also don't know exactly if the next evolution is going to be a vampire, because it could be a different thing. It was sort of hinted that yeah, it was going to be a vampire, but who knows, maybe the anime can throw us a curveball and be something else. But yeah, maybe it could be a lesser vampire or something resembling it. I don't know what else could come after a troll world that resembles being a human being more than a vampire. So I guess we'll have to wait and find out. And even though it wasn't exactly shown or mentioned in this episode, we can safely assume that he got a lot stronger, because he not only defeated the giant skeleton, but he's not also training with his sword. So yeah, those type of things are going to make him a lot stronger. So the difference between him being a human and his strength now is way different. He's a lot stronger now. I don't think it is even comparable. So yeah. Something else that was also surprising was that we didn't get to see Rina in this episode. I think that is her name. I'm even forgetting her name. That tells you a lot about how long it has been since we seen her. I think it was in the second episode that we saw her. So yeah, that was surprising that we didn't see her in this episode, because this is the fourth episode. I don't know how long they will wait before reintroducing her again. I mean, they were separated in the second episode because Rentt didn't want to be close to her. But yeah, hopefully we can see her in the next episode. But yeah, that was basically everything that happened in the episode. A little short review talking about the episode. And I gotta say that in general, the anime has been really good. It still hasn't fallen down in quality. So yeah, for the anime to stay this consistent, it's a good thing, because generally speaking, when an anime delivers episode by episode, it is a good indication that the anime is going to be good throughout the whole season. So let's hope that it's the case for this anime too, which I actually think it is going to be the case. So yeah. And if you don't want to miss any episode reviews, please subscribe to the channel. And also, if you enjoyed the review, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, that will be everything by me. And I guess I'll see you all in the next episode review.